Let me ask you a question. How many of you here at some point in your life have dreamed of a life filled with wealth, freedom, and joy? A life where you wake up every day excited about the possibilities, with your heart full of gratitude and your bank account full of abundance. I know I've been there. We all have. But here's the truth. What most people don't realize is that wealth and happiness aren't things you chase. They are things you create. They're not destinations. They are daily choices, daily decisions, daily habits. And no matter where you are in your life right now, whether you feel like you're on top of the world or just trying to survive another day, there is a path you can take right here, right now, to transform everything. Today, I'm going to share with you the real secrets to wealth and happiness, the ones that nobody talks about in mainstream media, the ones that go beyond the surface of money and success. If you've ever felt like something's missing, if you've ever wondered, why do I have all of this but still feel unfulfilled? This speech is for you. Because true wealth isn't what you see in your bank account. It's what you cultivate inside yourself. In happiness, it's not some distant dream. It's a decision you make every single day. So, if you're ready to discover the real formula to unlock the life you've always wanted, stay with me, because we're about to change your mindset forever. This intro is designed to engage the audience, make them curious, and set the tone for a transformational experience. It speaks directly to the deep desires of most people, wealth and happiness, and presents the speech as the key to unlocking them. Would you like to adjust the tone or add anything specific to the opening? Imagine this for a moment. You're sitting in a room full of successful people, people with money, influence, and power. But when you really look at them, something becomes clear. They don't have what they have by accident. It's not just because they were lucky or in the right place at the right time. No, it's something deeper. It's a mindset. It's the way they think about the world, about opportunities, and more importantly, about themselves. Because here's the truth, wealth doesn't start with money. It starts with the mind. That's right. If you want to attract abundance into your life, you have to believe it's possible. And I'm not talking about a superficial, wishful thinking belief. I'm talking about a deep, fundamental belief that you deserve wealth, that it is your right to experience the fullness of life, and that the universe operates in a way that rewards those who are open to receiving. So many people are stuck in a cycle of scarcity, and they don't even realize it. They look at their bank account and say, I can't afford that. They look at the rich and powerful and think, that's for them, not for me. They spend their days chasing after bills and obligations, wondering how they'll ever get ahead. What they don't see is that the very thought patterns that are keeping them stuck are the same ones that prevent them from breaking free. When you tell yourself you can't afford something, you're reinforcing a belief in lack. And that belief limits your ability to see opportunities. You close the door to new possibilities, to creative solutions, to breakthroughs that might be just around the corner. And when you're trapped in that mindset, you create a self-fulfilling prophecy. You stay stuck. You stay in debt. You stay on the treadmill of scarcity. But it doesn't have to be that way. The moment you shift your thinking, everything changes. You don't need to have millions in the bank to believe in abundance. In fact, it's the lack of belief that keeps people broke, not the lack of resources. When you begin to believe that wealth is not just something you have to chase, but something you can attract, your life will begin to transform. Think about the successful people you admire the most. What do they have in common? Sure, they might have different industries, different passions, different skills, but there's one thing they all share, an unshakable belief in their own value and their own potential. They don't see themselves as victims of circumstances. They don't see themselves as limited by what's around them. They believe that their mindset, their ability to think and act with clarity is the ultimate tool to creating the life they want. This is why I'm telling you, the wealthiest people are often not the most skilled. They're the ones who understand how to think differently. They are experts at seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. They don't waste energy complaining about what they don't have. Instead, they focus on what they can create, and they put their energy into taking action toward that creation. And the best part, this doesn't require any special gifts or talents. It requires a simple shift in perception, a decision that you will no longer accept a life of lack, but a life of abundance. This shift in perception starts with the simple realization that you are worthy of wealth. You are worthy of success. The moment you make that internal shift, you start seeing the world differently. You begin to notice opportunities that you would have missed before. You stop seeing the world as a place full of limitations and start seeing it as a place full of possibilities. Doors start to open where there once were walls. Opportunities show up in the most unexpected places, and you find yourself stepping into situations that you once thought were impossible. Here's the thing. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. If you want to be wealthy, you must first be wealthy in your thoughts. You must visualize yourself as successful, not as someone chasing success. You must step into the identity of the person you want to become. You have to believe that it's already on its way to you, that it's already here, and that you are simply aligning with it. The wealthiest people in the world don't just think about what they want. They believe deep down that they can have it. They don't get bogged down by fear or doubt. Instead, they take massive action in alignment with their beliefs. That's how they create lasting wealth. Not by playing small, but by thinking big and acting even bigger. So ask yourself, what is my mindset telling me about my life right now? Is it telling you that wealth is out of reach? That happiness is something for other people? Or is it telling you that you have everything you need to create the life you want? The choice is yours. And it begins with the way you think. Wealth starts in the mind, and once you truly believe you can have it, everything else will follow. We live in a world that's constantly telling us that happiness is something we'll find when we reach a certain destination. Once I get that promotion, I'll be happy. Once I move into a bigger house, then I'll be happy. Once I have enough money, then I'll be happy. But here's the truth. Happiness is never about the destination. It's never about the things you acquire or the places you get to. Happiness is about how you choose to show up every single day. I want you to really think about that for a moment. How often do you hear people say, "I'll be happy when"? It's like they're putting their happiness on hold, waiting for the perfect moment to come. But that perfect moment will never come. Because happiness is not something you find at the end of a road. It's something you build along the way every single day. Now, I'm not saying that wealth or success don't matter. They do. But the truth is, the more we chase them as a means to happiness, the more elusive they become. You can have everything that the world tells you will make you happy, success, wealth, fame, recognition, and still feel empty inside. I'm sure you've seen it. People who have achieved it all, yet they're still unsatisfied, still searching for that next thing that will make them feel complete. So what's the secret? The secret is that happiness isn't something you find when you get something. It's something you create by how you choose to think, how you choose to act, and how you choose to see the world. It's in the small moments. It's in the quiet moments of gratitude. It's in the decision to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Think about it. How many times have you put off your happiness until you had more money, more success, or more time? You wait for the right circumstances to show up in your life before you allow yourself to be happy. But what if I told you that you don't need to wait for anything? What if I told you that happiness is available to you right now, no matter what's happening in your life. Happiness is a decision you make in each and every moment. It's in how you approach your day, how you respond to challenges, and how you treat others. You can be in the middle of the toughest situation, facing obstacles that seem insurmountable, and still choose to find peace. You can choose to smile, choose to laugh, choose to be grateful, even when life isn't going the way you planned. You see, what sets happy people apart from the rest is not that they have fewer problems. It's that they've learned to take responsibility for their emotional state. They've learned that external circumstances don't control their happiness. They do. It's not about having the perfect situation. It's about making the best of the situation you have right now. It's about taking responsibility for your energy and how you show up. Every day is a new opportunity to make that choice. Every day is a chance to say, I'm going to find joy in the simple things. I'm going to focus on what's working, not what's wrong. I'm going to appreciate what I have, not wait for something better. It's easy to get caught up in the grind, to focus on what you don't have yet, to keep pushing for the next thing. But the truth is, when you're constantly looking ahead, you miss the beauty of the present moment. Happiness is in the journey, not the destination. It's about finding fulfillment in the everyday experiences. Whether it's a conversation with a friend, the feeling of accomplishing something small, or the quiet satisfaction of knowing you're moving forward, even if it's just one step at a time. And here's something even more powerful. The more you choose happiness, the more it multiplies. The more you choose to see the good in your life, the more good will show up. The more you choose to be grateful, the more you'll find to be grateful for. Happiness is a habit, just like anything else. It's a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. So I want you to take a moment and think about this. Right now, what are you waiting for to be happy? What external thing or circumstance are you holding on to? Thinking that it's the key to your happiness. And how much longer are you willing to keep waiting? What if you made the decision today that happiness is yours now? What if you decided that regardless of what's happening around you, you could choose to feel fulfilled, peaceful, and content in this moment? You see, happiness isn't something you have to earn or achieve. It's something you can create every day by deciding that you're going to make the most of what you have right now. And the best part, the more happiness you create in your life, the more it will flow into every area of your life, into your relationships, your work, your health, and yes, even your wealth. So make that decision today. Choose happiness. Choose to live fully in this moment, knowing that everything you need to feel complete is already within you. Let's talk about emotions for a minute. Most people think of emotions as something that just happened to them, as if they have no control over them. They wake up, and depending on what's going on in their life, they feel a certain way. If things are going well, they feel happy, energized, and optimistic. If things aren't going well, they feel stressed, anxious, or defeated. But here's the secret most people miss. Your emotions aren't in control of you. You are in control of them. And when you master your emotions, you master your life. Think about it. What happens when you're overwhelmed by fear, doubt, or anxiety? You freeze, don't you? You hesitate, second guess yourself, or avoid taking action altogether. That's the power of emotion. When you're consumed by negative emotions, you'll hold yourself back. You'll sabotage your own success, and you'll miss out on opportunities because you're too afraid to step forward. But when you're able to control those emotions, you take back your power. You act with confidence. You make decisions that move you toward your goals instead of away from them. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean you'll never feel fear, frustration, or disappointment again. That doesn't mean that challenges will magically disappear. What it means is that you become so emotionally resilient that no matter what happens, you don't let it stop you. You don't let it dictate how you show up in your life. You take control of your emotional state, and that gives you the freedom to keep moving forward no matter what. one of the most powerful tools for mastering your emotions is simply becoming aware of them. Most people aren't even aware of what's driving their emotional responses. They go through their day reacting to everything around them, angry at traffic, frustrated with coworkers, disappointed by their progress. But when you take a moment to pause and notice what you're feeling, you can start to separate yourself from that feeling. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by it, you can observe it, acknowledge it, and then decide what action you want to take next. Imagine you're faced with a tough situation. Maybe you're about to give a big presentation, or maybe there's a problem at work that's causing stress. You feel the anxiety start to rise. Your heart rate increases, your thoughts become chaotic, and suddenly you're consumed by self-doubt. But what if, in that moment, you could pause, take a deep breath, and say to yourself, I'm in control. I don't need to react to this situation. I can choose how I feel right now. And with that awareness, you shift from fear to calm. You regain your focus. You move from reaction to action. That's the power of emotional mastery. It gives you the ability to stay calm in the face of pressure, to make clear-headed decisions, and to stay on course even when things get tough. It's not about ignoring your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about recognizing that you don't have to be a victim to your emotions. You can be the master of them. The truth is, when you take control of your emotions, you open up a whole new world of possibilities. You start to see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles that stand in your way. You approach problems with a solution-focused mindset instead of a problem-focused mindset. And when you face setbacks, you don't let them derail you. You bounce back stronger, more determined, and more focused on your vision than ever before. But how do you get to that point? How do you become emotionally resilient? It starts with practice. You don't just wake up one day and magically become someone who can stay calm and focused all the time. It's a skill that you build over time. Every time you face an emotional challenge, you have the opportunity to practice emotional mastery. It starts with self-awareness. When you feel those emotions rising, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Where is this emotion coming from? Is it serving me or is it holding me back? In that pause, you give yourself the chance to choose how to respond. You give yourself the power to shift your state. It's also about having a tool set to help you stay grounded. When you feel your emotions spinning out of control, there are techniques you can use to bring yourself back to center. Deep breathing, visualization, positive affirmations. These are all tools that can help you regain control of your emotions in moments of stress. And the more you practice these techniques, the more automatic they become. Soon, you'll be able to shift your emotional state almost instantly. Finally, emotional mastery requires a commitment to personal growth. You have to be willing to face your emotions head on, to confront the negative patterns and beliefs that are holding you back, and to continuously work on strengthening your emotional resilience. It's not easy, but it's absolutely worth it. Because when you master your emotions, you master your life. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to live a life where you're in control of your emotions, not the other way around? What would it feel like to move through the world with confidence, clarity, and calm, no matter what challenges arise? When you master your emotions, you'll discover that you have more power than you ever imagined. You'll become unstoppable. And that's when you truly begin to live life on your terms. Let me ask you a question. What do you think the true secret to wealth is? Most people will tell you it's about making more money, getting more clients, or building a bigger business. And while those things matter, the real secret lies in something deeper. It's about how much you give. The more you give, the more you receive. It's a universal law that applies to every area of life: business, relationships, personal growth, and yes, even happiness. When you think about it, everything that comes into your life comes from what you give. Every opportunity, every connection, every resource, all of it is a direct result of what you've put into the world. You see, wealth isn't just about taking, it's about contributing. It's about giving more than you receive, and doing so with the intention of adding value to others. When you give, you create a ripple effect that expands beyond what you can even imagine. Think about the most successful people in the world, whether they're business leaders, philanthropists, or influencers. One thing they all have in common is a mindset of contribution. They understand that the more they give, the more they receive. And I'm not just talking about money. Yes, giving financially is important, but the true power of giving is in your time, your energy, your attention, and your love. When you give these things freely, without expecting anything in return, you open up a channel for even greater abundance to flow into your life. It's easy to get caught up in the mindset of scarcity. We've all been there, wondering if there's enough to go around, fearing that if we give too much, there won't be anything left for ourselves. But the truth is, the more you give, the more you create space for abundance. When you give from a place of generosity and service, you're not losing anything. You're gaining more than you can even comprehend. Think about the most generous people you know. How do they live their lives? They're not just giving to get something in return. They're giving because it brings them fulfillment, joy, and purpose. They're giving because they understand that their true wealth comes from making a difference in the lives of others. And when you give with that kind of purpose, your life expands in ways you can't predict. Giving isn't just about charity or philanthropy. It's about how you show up every day. How do you show up for your family? How do you show up for your friends? How do you show up for your community and your work? If you approach every situation with a mindset of service, looking for ways to help and add value, you'll start to notice something incredible happening in your life. The more you give, the more you'll receive. But giving isn't always easy. Sometimes you'll face challenges. There will be moments when you feel like you've given all you have, and yet you're still not getting what you need in return. But that's when you have to trust in the process. You have to trust that when you give from a place of authenticity and generosity, the universe will always respond. It may not happen immediately, but it will happen. And when it does, you'll realize that the rewards were worth every ounce of energy you put into giving. It's important to remember that giving isn't about sacrificing yourself. You don't give to the point where you're depleted or resentful. The key is finding balance, giving from a place of abundance, from a place of love and joy, not from a place of lack. When you approach giving from this mindset, it doesn't drain you. It energizes you. You give and you receive, and the cycle continues to grow. Think about the people who have made the biggest impact on your life. Chances are they weren't just focused on what they could get from you. They were focused on how they could serve you, how they could make your life better. And because of their generosity, you've probably felt a deep sense of gratitude and connection to them. This is the power of giving. It builds relationships. It creates a foundation of trust, respect, and mutual support. And it's the foundation of true wealth. So here's the challenge I want to give you today. Find ways to give more. Give more of your time, your energy, your knowledge, and your resources. Give without expecting anything in return, and watch how your life transforms. The more you give, the more you'll expand your own capacity to receive. The more you serve others, the more you'll experience the abundance that comes with it. You'll see opportunities that were always there, but you couldn't see before. You'll find that doors open when you least expect it. You'll notice that the people you help are eager to help you in return. It's the law of the universe. The more you give, the more you receive. And when you embrace this law, Wealth and happiness will begin to flow into your life in ways that you've never imagined. So make the decision today. Start giving more. Start adding value. Start serving others. And watch as your life becomes richer, not just in wealth, but in every way that truly matters.